Hello. Welcome back to Kate's Kitchen Chapel. It's good to have you back in my kitchen. Today's talk is about decision making in times of stasis. That's the title of it. And some of what I'm going to talk to you about today may sound familiar if you've heard other talks of mine over the summer, because I've been saying similar things all summer long. We've been told times are a-changin'. We've been told that the past is gone forever. But in truth, no one needs to tell us that we are looking at a new world with environmental changes and with new social behaviors. No one needs to warn us about massive changes in our environment. We know these things. We know about changes coming in medical care or new social behaviors or our finances. In fact, with the influx of news, so much news and so many people telling us what to do about everything from exercise to prayer to eating well to what to watch on cable, I frequently do not know who to listen to or where to turn. Does this sound familiar to you? It should. It should. Many people that I talk to say they are tired. There is so much stuff out there. I'm tired of being tired. In fact, as they say in AA, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of being told what to do, where I can go, and how I should be talking to others. I end up feeling like I know too much about too many things and not enough about the things about what I think are important for me to know. I feel anxious and stressed out, and sometimes I don't know where to turn or what decision to make that's going to be in my best interest. Thank God for Hamilton on Disney Plus. But these days I have very little self-control. And on top of the cookie issue, I started watching everything on Disney, something I've never had before. I even watched Frozen 2. Really, and I watch these things just so I don't have to think about all the life and death situations and the frequently contrary news that is really geared, as we know, to incite fear, so that we read the headlines and maybe dig in and read that story. Like right now in my life, and I'm recording this on Sunday, July 26th, I have a decision to make about traveling to another state, to Delaware, for a firewalk instructor training, which is to happen next week, the first week of August. It's already been canceled once. It was supposed to happen in May. And I know that this is mine to do. But the question in my mind is this mine to do right now? And I know many of us are facing these kind of decisions. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is it safe for me to do this? Is it safe not only for me, but for the people I will come in contact with? What to do? Talk about monkey mind. Oh my God. My friends, and they can attest to this, my mind is like hundreds of little hamsters on a little baby Ferris wheel running round and round and round. I check virus updates. I look at travel conditions. I know that I'm careful, but what about others? What about rest areas, restaurants, gas stations? All of the same things that I do now, but I do them in a familiar environment. So what to do? What to do? That's what I keep asking myself, and I change my mind from one time to the other, from one moment to another. Yesterday I thought I was going, today I'm not so sure. I'm waiting for more information to see if that can help me make a decision. So what do we do when we're faced with these kind of decisions in times of stasis, where there is so much happening and yet no movement at all? In New Thought, we're taught to pray, to meditate, recite affirmations, and generally to work on a spiritual program. For me, as a Science of Mind minister, I turn to what I call the Big Book of Science of Mind for guidance by Ernest Holmes. And truth be told, I'm rarely disappointed. On page 501 of the Science of Mind textbook, Holmes states, and he stated this in 1929, and I had to look that up because I thought, what were they so concerned about in 1929? What was on people's minds? It could not even compare to the influx of information that we have today. But they had their concerns. And Holmes stated, our minds are burdened with many things. Often our religions, which should automatically balance our mentalities, suppress our mentalities, and create a morbidness based on the subjective side of thought. And this is exactly what is happening in our world right now. Holmes encourages us on page 197 to never limit our view of life based on any past experience. He continues and he says, the possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is, backed by the power to produce the imagery, what we imagine. And that this illusion is the way that we look at things. Now, we have looked at poverty, degradation, and misery until they have assumed gigantic proportions. We must look at harmony, happiness, plenty, prosperity, peace, and right action until these things begin to appear in our lives. One thing that has truly worked for me during this time, even more so than trying to find gratitude, because sometimes gratitude really isn't available to me, is to recognize that simply the awareness that is built more on amazement than cynicism. An awareness that is built more on awareness than cynicism. And this is where I need to go sometimes. The Daily Word from Unity nailed it for me on July 3rd of this year. And this is what they said. I am filled with wonder and amazement. My heart and soul are touched as I pause to consider the sacredness of every single moment of my life. As I behold each moment as holy, I look at my life with wonder and amazement. I make time to enjoy beauty wherever I find it. I commit to being fully present to those around me in the moment, which deepens my connection to them. And it goes on saying that amazement is what can motivate us. Why this is important to me is because this reading did not tell me what to do. It simply suggested what I might be missing when I look out my kitchen window. I can look at those things that overwhelm me, those things that don't quite make sense, and I can be in wonder of them without my natural tendency to discount or dismiss. I can just let them be. Like a flower suddenly in the middle of a concrete sidewalk, cracks to the unknown and to amazement are everywhere. A very good friend of mine says it like this, very simply. I let go of things that are not mine to do, and I trust I will be shown what to do if I simply let the overwhelming influences in my life be. I trust I will be shown what to do if I just simply let the overwhelming influences in my life be. I have many questions right now. Most of them I can do nothing about. Like many of us, a lot has happened to us personally that somehow has taken a back seat to the national news. In this time when so many have found themselves and their spiritual programs are growing and they're meditating and they're painting and they're walking and they're exercising, there are many more of us whose lives have been turned literally upside down through no fault of our own. But I believe it is time for us to come home. Come home to us, to self, that big S self, to who we want to be, regardless of what life used to be. Be open to the new you. So you've been eating too many cookies. Love yourself, regardless. Love others for their struggle and recognize their uniqueness, even if you disagree or you dislike them. We are all really just a flowering weed in the middle of concrete, an unwanted nuisance to some, and something amazing and beautiful to others. Trust that everything always works out for our best interest. That the universal power of our life is ever present. And as it is said in Hamilton, which I have watched many times, history has its eyes on you, on each one of you, and God will not let you down. Trust your path in this life. Each of us have come here to do something wonderful as us. There is no comparison to who you are and what you can give to others. No one can be you. Let that motivate you. Let that help you in your decision-making processes. And let love motivate you. And when the time comes, do what is yours to do in that moment. And let the rest go. I hope this finds you all well, and I hope soon we will see each other in your sanctuary. And this is my cat Max, deciding I am done. Thank you. Love you all. And so it is.